During the interview released Sunday, President Trump had said that he is not looking at running for a third term, despite lots of comments to the contrary and his own recent statements and his own organization selling hats that say Trump 2028. Setting aside the constitutional questions or barriers around all of this, CNN's Harry Enten is looking at this morning for you on where the American people actually stand on this right now. So what are Americans saying about the possibility of him running for a third term?
Yeah, I think there's a reason why Donald Trump is backtracking or saying, no, I won't actually do this, because this idea is about as popular as New Coke was back in the mid-1980s. I mean, should Trump run for a third term? 76% of Americans say no, 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 compared to just 21% who say yes, including only 16% of independents. This is one of the least popular ideas I have ever seen. And when you get 3/4 of the American people agreeing on anything and it's in the no, you know it's 999. This is one of the most unpopular ideas I have seen in polling in a long period of time.
999 reference in there. Wow, impressive. Okay, that's independence you have right there. But what about by party? Like, how do Republicans feel about this?
Yeah, I think this is the key question, right? How do Republicans feel about this? Because, of course, he has to win a primary. And, you know, 88% of Republicans hold a favorable view of Donald Trump, yet the GOP on Trump running for a third term, get this, a majority of Republicans say no. 53% compared to 44% who say that he should. Now, that is a sizable number there, but when a majority of Republicans are disagreeing with the idea of Trump doing something, you know that this is an unpopular idea, and it's literally half the level who say he should run for a third term that actually have a favorable view of him. The bottom line is it would be difficult at this point to see Donald Trump sailing away in a Republican primary if, in fact, he decided to run. He would face some real competition there, given that 53%, the majority of Republicans, are even against the idea of Donald Trump running for a third term.
How does that compare in the past? You're looking at it in comparison to 2021.
Right. Okay. So you remember 2021. It was after January 6th. Donald Trump was kind of right there in the trough of his political popularity, right? So get this. GOP who say that Trump should run for another term. In May of 2021, for a second term, 66%, the clear majority of Republicans said, yes, he should run for a second term. Compare that to now where it's just 44% who say he should run for a third term. This is simply put just not a popular idea. When you're getting this fight back from the Republican base to a degree that we simply put have never seen before, you get the idea of why Donald Trump came out yesterday with his most forceful comments to date, saying, you know what, really, it's two terms for me, because even on this particular issue, he does not have the Republican base with him. And when it comes to the overall population, I'm going to end the same way I started. It is about as popular as the idea of New Coke was in the mid-1980s. Simply put, nobody wants this.
Enough said. It's good to see you here.
Nice to see you.